Today I'm looking at a thing called metric modulation. Now metric modulation is when you take a polyrhythm, and a polyrhythm is where you've inflicted a certain amount of numbers over the top of another amount of numbers. For example, you could be playing 2, and you could put 3 over the top of that. So what I've got there is a polyrhythm. I've got a polyrhythm of 3 over 2. So in that space there's 2 beats here, and then there's 3 beats. You can see my fingers doing whatever it is. There's 3 beats in the same space. Now one of the things we can do with rhythm is we can put a polyrhythm over the top of what we're playing, and then we can use that polyrhythm to create a new tempo or new time that then we can jump onto, and this is called metric modulation. I'm going to have a look at it a little bit today. So an example of that would be, Paul, do you want to play this straight beat?
Yeah.
So Paul's my student, so he's going to play a straight rock beat. Yeah. The polyrhythm. So that what I was doing there, I took a polyrhythm which was 4 over 3, dotted 8th notes. And I played that as my time and played a rock beat. Paul was playing in his time, and you can hear they're 2 different tempos, but the tempos sort of interlock. Now Paul's really into metric modulation, so he's been looking at it over since his last lesson, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been doing with him to get him into that sort of thing. So this is the pattern of asking Paul to start to play, which is a basic rock beat number 1 here, which is basically bass, snare, 8th notes on the hi-hat. And then we move from playing 8th notes on the hi-hat to this pattern 2, where we're playing triplets on the hi-hat. Once you feel comfortable with that, then we move to, instead of playing the bass drum and snare drum at the beginning of the triplet on every 3, we now space them out and play them on every 4, which gives us pattern 4 here. Alright, so you're still playing your triplets, but you're playing the bass drum on 1, and then you're playing 4, and then you're playing your snare drum on 4. And that actually will sound the same as that, basically, pattern 5, which is 16th notes on the hi-hat with bass drum, snare drum. And then you just halve the speed of your hi-hats from 16th notes to 8th notes, and you arrive back at your basic rock beat, but you're now at a slower tempo, a new tempo, which is modulated from the first tempo, and it will be related to the first tempo. Let's see how Paul gets on with that. So this is Paul, and he's now going to have a go at running through this horrendous modulation pattern. He's just going to run through it unaccompanied, so you can see what it is, and then I'll plug the guitar in and we'll do it against something that's playing a riff, and we'll see how it goes. So Paul, do you want to have a go?
Yes, as in no.
Brilliant. Right, so I'm going to plug my guitar and we'll try and do it. I'm going to play a riff in the first tempo, and then you start all your modulations, and hopefully you'll end up with a new rock beat, which will be in something that's completely unrelated to what I'm playing. So I'm just going to play a chord on the quarter notes, like this. Paul's got over that one, I'm going to show him another one now, which is basically this. It's you take a straight rock beat with 16th notes. Bass and snare are playing every 4, and then we move to playing every 3. And then that 3, we put a 2/3 polyrhythm back into that. So you've got... If I do that modulation through, and I'll show you on paper so you can see how it works, but Paul, if you can play a straight rock beat. And we got back into time there. Paul's got this look on his face because he knows I'm now going to ask him to do this one. Well, first of all, I'll show you what it actually is on paper. So this is what we've got on the top. You can see a straight rock beat with 16th notes. 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under. The next thing I did was to play that here every 3. It's the pattern in the middle for pan out. And I'm playing every 3 instead of every 4. And then where I've got that 3, I'm putting a 2/3 polyrhythm into that, so I'm turning that 3 back into 2, and we get a straight rock beat like that. So let's see how Paul gets on with this. 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under. It'll just look like this hands.